just great. Happy to be here. Happy to play football on Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
Feels like a little kid back in high school watching this kind of game. So less than highly favored.
Talk about blessed to play this kind of game. Just kind of what were your perceptions of the Iron Bowl growing up, and then obviously you've been in them on the sidelines, maybe played some, but just kind of being the starter this year. Kind of what's the opportunity like?
Yeah, growing up in Tennessee, right? Like just the Vanderbilt-Tennessee rivalry. My dad being from Mississippi, so the Egg Bowl, and then it was the Iron Bowl. So I really, I feel like I never really missed the Iron Bowl growing up watching. I remember the Kick Six, all those growing up, and then being a part. This would be my fourth one, and crazy stuff has happened. It's rivalry week, so just to be a part of a game like this and a tradition, it's like no other. So I'm very blessed to be a part of it.
Sorry, sorry if you've been asked this. What do you remember about the 2023 game? Like, just the atmosphere, what it was like?
Oh, that was the 4th and 31?
Yeah.
So, I of course, right, like, it was crazy. We kind of expected it going in. But I remember that play because Jace had just gotten hurt, McClellan. And Jace is a really good friend of mine, so I was, comforting him on the sideline, like, dude, you're going to be okay, right? Like, it's going to be fine. And then the sideline goes crazy, and I'm like, what just happened? And I look up at the scoreboard, and Jalen threw the 4th and 31 pass. So, I mean, just crazy stuff, right? Like, just, it's rivalry week, expect the unexpected.
At that point, did you almost kind of think the game was over if you're not watching it?
I mean, what's the ESPN, percentage, right? Like, it was
Right.
probably not very, not to our liking, I guess. But never had a doubt. You know what I mean?
Telling Grubb to get Gravedigger in the playbook.
I told Grubb to get a lot of stuff in the playbook.
Sorry, when you have a couple of freshmen that have kind of become prominent options in your passing game with Latsir and Caleb. What does it take to kind of gain trust as such a young player, from you, right? What does that look like?
Those guys are, really, really, really good players. They're going to be, real dudes here in the next couple of years. But it's really just about, doing your job and being trustworthy, right? Those guys are never late. They're never, in any type of trouble whatsoever. They come out and they come to work every day, as freshmen, right? Being a freshman and having a veteran's mindset, that's very important. So, they earned my trust for just, showing up and working, you know what I mean? But if anything, I earned their trust because of how, I go about things, I feel like. So, those guys, anything that they need on my end, they have it. They know that, I love them, and, they're a really important part of this offensive team.
The offense, that 4-game stretch against the ranked opponents was so sharp, so crisp. How do you guys recapture what kind of happened over that span? Yeah,
just doing our job, right? Everybody likes to say, what happened to the old Ty? What happened to him? Just got to go one for one. You know what I mean? Everybody's, wondering what's going on. Nothing's going on. We're just going to go play our ball. Yeah.
With that in mind, do you kind of feel like you have something to prove with the little bit of doubt creeping in from others, or does that seep into you a little bit? Or?
Yeah, I always got something to prove. I don't, everybody's asked me, what's up, so it's in the back of my mind, but I'm just going to go do my job. What a great week to do it, you know what I mean, against a really great team and a really great defense.
Yeah, how do you respond when people are asking these questions? Does that motivate you, or what does that do for you?
Yeah, I mean, it just it takes me back to the first game of the year, you know what I mean? And on the doubt that everybody had. It just, takes me back to doing, the little things and what got me there. You know what I mean? Just trusting God, trusting, on my process, and understanding that, I've done this before. There's games that, I've done it and nothing's wrong. You know what I mean? So I'm just happy to be out here and got better today.
How drastic is the contrast of when things are going well and then when things aren't going well? How big of a difference is that for you, and what has that been like to kind of be on both sides of that?
I mean, yeah, it sucks. but I wouldn't even say, things are going, bad. You know what I mean? Like, there's just one play here or there that if we clean up, then we're not even talking about this right now. You know what I mean? So I think, people are blowing it out of proportion, and we're just going to go play our ball. Like that, we're not listening to, what anybody has to say. Like, we're focused on ourselves and just focused on doing, our job, and that's what we've been doing since the start of the season. So, that's our mindset, and that's what we're going to do.
So in that way, does it feel similar to what you guys learned coming out of the Florida State game?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the doubt and the, just everything, our backs against the wall right now. Like, we know the hostile environment in Jordan-Hare. We know what's at stake for both teams, right? Like, who wouldn't want to be a part of that? Just a great test for our team, a great testament to the guys in general. Just super excited, and what a great game. You know what I mean? Like, what would y'all rather be doing on Thanksgiving weekend? I know what I'd be doing.
Talk about backs being up against the wall, but the SEC released the scenarios this week, and for Alabama, it's win and you're in the SEC title game. Is that kind of comforting, knowing that it's not up to anyone else? Like, y'all are kind of in control of your own destiny at this point.
Yeah, I mean, we've said that all along, right? Like, it's all on us, right? It's all about us. So guess what? Like, we go do our job, and everything else will take care of itself. But guess what? The biggest thing is we gotta go do our job.
Especially with the chance to secure a spot when you're playing a rival. How do you view that opportunity?
I mean, just super blessed. Like I said, like growing up, who wouldn't want to play in the best rivalry in college football? The Iron Bowl, Alabama against Auburn, all the memories that teams have had against each other, right? Like the bad blood. It's just great. Like growing up in the South, growing up watching SEC football, like this is what you dream of, and just what a great opportunity that I have to be starting quarterback on one of the teams.
Ty, UT Martin has very similar colors to Auburn. Is it weird? Just all the time you spend around the orange and navy kind of thing?
Yeah. So full disclosure, back in the day when I was a little kid, my mom used to buy me Auburn stuff because it's the same colors as UT Martin. So, but we would take out the Auburn and we would put UT Martin on it, but it would be Auburn colors. So, yeah, it's a little bit of UT Martin Sky Hawkish in the back of my head going against my dad's team. So maybe it give me some motivation.
You know what's at stake for this game. You know what you can prove. Talk about all that. How do you sort of compartmentalize the stakes of this game versus just going out and playing football?
Yeah, I think that we look back and we've been here before. Hostile environment, like Georgia. You think about South Carolina. Like, we've been through a tough time in our season, right? Just different challenges. But it goes back to how our team is, how resilient we are, and how we all play for one another. That's what it's going to be this weekend, right? Like, it's for all the marbles. Like, let's go get it.
Last two.
Coach DeBoer said yesterday his favorite Thanksgiving dish is just the Thanksgiving stuff. But do you have a favorite Thanksgiving dish you're looking forward to eating this week?
Yeah, I like sweet potato casserole. Like my grandmother, my mom, they make the best sweet potato casserole. So hopefully I'll get some of that this weekend.
Anybody else? All right.
All right, thank you guys.